The fishing industry is tough on the environment, with a number of marine conservation issues like reduced fish stock, water pollution, and habitat degradation. Some researchers believe the size of the fishing industry needs to be significantly decreased to maintain and foster healthy marine environments. The alternative meat industry is booming, and Shiok Meats has an innovative approach using stem cell technology. They're producing crustaceans like shrimps, crabs, and lobsters in a way that's healthy and sustainable. Sandhya, how is Shiok Meats helping to solve the world's environmental and food sustainability challenge?
So actually, we are a company, Shiok Meats is a company that works on cultivated seafood predominantly. And what I mean by that is we grow seafood using stem cells. And these are done in large equipments called cultivators, much like your large stainless steel vessels that you might see in a brewery, but instead of making beer, we make seafood. And using this technology, how we are sort of solving the issues of the environmental and the impact that we have on the oceans is we are dealing with a $150 billion industry, which is the crustacean industry, like shrimp, crab, and lobster. So I think with the rising demand, there's rising production, but at the same time, that's leading to issues. There's, of course, human rights issues. There's bycatch issues with the wild caught. There's microplastic and metal contamination in the seafood that we're eating. So I think all of this is solved by our technology, where we just use the stem cells in a very clean, controlled environment, very similar to you growing fruits and vegetables in a greenhouse.
So you're extracting stem cells from a live shrimp and then cultivating the meat from there.
Correct. So actually stem cells are present in every live animal, or even plants for that matter. So we have stem cells in skin, we have in liver, in heart, and everywhere else. So what we do is we isolate muscle and fat stem cells from these animals, from live animals, and we grow them in an environment that's very, very similar to what the shrimp is. So we maintain the same temperature, the pressure, the humidity, and we feed it liquid nutrients. So what happens is the stem cells are tricked to think that they're still inside the animal. And stem cells have this amazing capacity to keep growing. That's what they are born to do. And we grow them with liquid nutrients, and at the end what you get is meat that is exactly similar to shrimp meat, but except that it doesn't come from a dead animal.
The technology is transportable across every different type of animal?
Right, the basic technology is. The whole concept of taking a stem cell and then growing it outside of the animal's body and making the meat is similar between each type of meat.
And there's a lot of willingness in the marketplace to try alternative meats, and I include myself in that. But when you think about the distribution and logistics to scale and the challenges around consumer perception of price and cost, there's a lot going on. How will you overcome all of that?
This whole industry of cultivated meat and seafood is less than a decade. It started off in about 2014, 2015, when a professor in the Netherlands showed that he could make a hamburger using stem cells. And that was my aha moment to sort of do what I'm doing right now. Yeah, exactly. I think what's happened in the last 7 years, per se, 7 or 8 years, would have taken another 80 years to happen. But I think with technology, it has accelerated us. But still, we are only a 7-year-old industry. Shiok Meats in particular is looking to launch our first shrimp product next year in 2023. Price-wise, we won't be that expensive actually. We're looking at a 20 to 30% premium to start off with compared to the market price, which is not too bad.
Oh, that's a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
But eventually, we will get to the mass scale pricing with scale.
Beyond shrimp, what does the roadmap look like for Shiok Meats?
So for us, as soon as we launch shrimp, we're looking at lobster the year after, and then crab after that, and crayfish. And we also acquired a cultivated red meat company last year called Gaia Foods, and they actually make beef and pork, and actually structured beef and pork. So I'm talking about beef steak, pork chops, and so on.
Where it's physically identical. Do you see Shiok being consumer-facing brands long-term, or will you be an input to the food industry?
Both, for sure. If we have to win this 10 billion game that we're all talking about in terms of feeding affordable, nutritious, delicious food to the growing population, it has to be both.